We are continuing with the fifth unit of the 10th class, that is your classification, periodic classification of the element. We are doing a question, very important question. What is modern periodic law? And discuss long form of modern periodic table. So modern atomic law, it was given by Moseley, who was a physicist. He was a scientist of physics who gave the modern periodic law. Henry Moseley is his name. He gave this law in 1913, and he said periodic properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic numbers. Periodic properties of the element, they are periodic functions of their atomic number. Since atomic number is a factor which determines the number of valence electrons in a particular atom or isotope or isobar, so periodic property, they are to be governed by atomic number. On the basis of this law, he arranged the element in order of increasing their atomic numbers and got a huge table which was more lengthwise, it was less breadthwise. That's why it is called a long form of periodic table. So Mendeleev, after a successful attempt of Mendeleev, then came the modern periodic table, which was based on the basis of your Henry Moseley periodic law. So now we will be discussing the modern periodic table, and we will drawing that table. So there were 7 horizontal rows in modern periodic table, which were named as the periods, and there were 18 vertical columns in this periodic table. They were called as the group. So first of all, we are making the first group. This group is divided into 7 equal parts. First period, second period, third period, fourth period, fifth period, sixth period, and this is 7th period. It contains the element hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. Then we come to the second group. It is having 1 less period. This has the element beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. Then we come to the 10 groups in these 3, 4 use periods. So we'll be making 10 groups here. This is your group number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this will be having scandium, titanium, Kaka, Sakti, scandium, titanium, Vakar, Manfi, Koni, Kujan, Kaka, Sakti, Vakar, Manfi, Koni, Kujan, Gagi, Assi, Varkar. So we'll be now raising this up to this height, and this group will be there. So we'll be making 5 groups here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these are the groups. Now we have this boron, Balga, Intel, these are the elements of this group. Then we have next group, carbon family, Kasi, G, Sun, Pub. Then we have next group, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. This was helium. Now we have Napasbi. Usse Tepo. Focal Bariat. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These are the elements of this periodic table. And now we have this element, Rapsar, Yajar, Nabmo, Tak, Ru, Raha, Pad, Ag, Kad. Then we have Kasba, Lahapta, Varios, Ir platinum, auric gold, Irpatau mercury. Then we have Farra Ekuha. These were the elements known at that moment. This is atomic number is 89. This will be 104. This is 57. It is your 71 here. So we are having a gap of 14 elements here, 14 elements here, which are placed at the bottom of the periodic table. We are having 14 such groups. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 groups we have. And we have first series of the element that is called as lanthanides. And second series is called as actinides. Since lanthanide they follow lanthanum, actinide follow actinium. So we can write these elements also: Lasi, Per, Nud, Pum, Sum, U, Dud, Tub, Di, Ho, Ir, Tum, Yablu. So you start atomic number from here: 58, 59, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 71. This will be 72 here. Then we have actinides: Akt, Payu, Nappu, Amkam, Bakaf, Berkelium, Californium, Bakaf, Isfam, Mardnolar. This will be starting here: 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103. This is 104. So we have two series of elements. They are called as S block elements. We'll study it at higher level. This is D block in the modern periodic table. This is called as S block in the modern table, and this is called as P block. So this is the modern atomic table or long form of periodic table, which contain about your 122 element discovered up to now. Now this is called as group number 1. They are numbered from 1 to 18, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is group number 13. This is 14, 15, 16, 17. So we are having 18 groups in long form of periodic table. So now we have the properties of the elements or the periodic function of their atomic number, position of the orbits, cobalt and nickel that was resolved here. They are not kept along with the in the 8th group. Now cobalt and nickel, they are placed separately, so that has been resolved. Then we have the resolved cobalt and nickel have atomic number 27 and 28. They are placed in a increasing order of their atomic number. Cobalt is placed first, then comes the turn of nickel. Then isotopes, they got the similar position due to their similar atomic numbers. Unlike atomic mass, atomic number is always whole number. Atomic mass can be in fractions also. And hydrogen, it has resemblance with alkali metals as well as those of halogens, 17th group element. Since it has only one electron in the valence shell, on the basis of electronic configuration, it was decided to keep it along with the alkali metals. So this is our long form for periodic table. Now in this periodic table, all the problems which were faced by the Mendeleev periodic table, they have been removed. Now position of the elements in the modern periodic table, let us discuss. It is very easy to memorize all these elements, and the study of the groups and the properties of the element, that became easy, and it is based upon atomic number which governs the valence electron, and valence electron govern the reactivity of the particular elements. So modern periodic table has 18 vertical columns named as group, 7 horizontal rows which are named as periods. So we are having these 7 periods and 18 groups. We have already commented on this. Then we have the we have a activity, explain the similarity in group 1 elements. So if we take the group 1 element, all of these elements, they are having one electron in the valence shell. If they have one electron in the valence shell, they can lose one electron to acquire noble gas stable configuration, and they acquire +1 state by losing that electron. So lithium hydrogen has atomic number 1, it has 3. So it will be having one electron, it will be having 2 and 1. Outer shell contains one electron. In sodium 281, one electron. So all these elements, they have one electron. Similarly, we can compare the second group elements. All these elements, they will have 2 electron in the valence shells, and they will show the valency of 2. They will show the valency of 1. So in this manner, we can compare their properties, we can compare their electronic configuration and the different cells. In this case, these elements, they will have only one cell, that is K cell. These elements will have K and L. These elements will have KLM. Then we have 4 cell, 5 cell, 6 cell and 7 cells. So we in total will have 7 cells up to now. Those elements which have discovered, their electrons can be distributed in these 7 cells. Then we will be studying the trends in the properties of these elements. First of all, we see the valency. Valency of the element, it is defined as the combining capacity of an atom of an element, or it is also given as the number of hydrogen atoms or number of chlorine atoms, or double the number of oxygen atoms with which one atom of an element combines. For example, if we take the example of lithium here, it combines with one hydrogen giving lithium hydride. Similarly, it can combine with one chlorine to give LiCl. Na combines with one hydrogen and one chlorine. So all these elements, they have the valency of 1 since they are combining with one hydrogen or one chlorine, or they are combining each atom is combining with half of the oxygen. Double this number, half made double, that is 1 again. So valency on the basis of their combination with hydrogen, chlorine and oxygen, it comes out to be 1. In this case it comes out to be 2. So valency, that depends upon the number of valence electrons in their valence shell. So they have valency 1 and 2. Then we come to this side of the group. Boron family, it is having 3 electrons in the valence shell. They can show valency of 3. Carbon family having 4 electrons. It will show the valency of 4, 5, 6, 7, and they show 0 valency since they have the completely filled their valence shells. Then we have to determine the valency of an element, we have to count the number of valence electrons. If it is less than 4, then we have the valency equal to the number of valence electrons. If it becomes 4 or more than that, as in carbon family, so they can exhibit valency of 4. They can take 4 electron or share 4 electron, and the lower element, they can lose 4 electrons giving positive SN4 positive, Pb4 positive are formed, but these are with the non-metallic element, they are not able to show +4 valency. Then we have nitrogen family, they are having 5 electrons in the valence shell. So subtract 5 from 8 because they need 8 electrons to complete their octet. Subtracting 5 from 8, their valency will be 3. In this case, they have 6 electrons in the valence shell. Subtracted from the 8, you will get valency 2. In this case, they have 7 electrons in the valence shell. Subtracted from 8, you get valency 1. Subtract 8 from 8, they are having 8 electrons except this. So that will be having 0 valency. So this is regarding valency of these elements. Then we have second periodic property, that is atomic mass. Whenever we are moving top to bottom in any group, the number of cells that will continuously increase. It has only 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell, 4 cell, 5 cell, 6 cell, 7 cells. So when number of cells they are increasing, definitely size, atomic size will increase. So when we move top to bottom in any group, the number of cells they are continuously increases, and therefore the size of the element that increases. But if we move left to right in a period, then atomic size continuously increases, then atomic charge, the nuclear charge continuously increases, but number of valence cells they remain same. When nuclear charge increases, but the distance of the outermost cell of the electron that is not increasing, number of cells remain constant. Therefore, increased nuclear charge that will pull the outer cell more nearer to the nucleus, and size will decrease when we move left to right. So it is a common observation that when we move top to bottom in a group, the size will definitely increase, but when we move left to right in a particular period, that size will decrease because number of valence cells they remain same, but the nuclear charge continuously increases, which pulls the outer cell nearer to the nucleus and size decreases. So this is activity regarding the atomic size. Then we have studied the variation of atomic size in the group. We have studied that as well as in the period. Then we come to metallic and non-metallic characteristics of the elements. This is activity number 5. Classify the elements of third period into metals and non-metal. So this is our third period. These are metals. Then we are moving this way. Aluminium, it has some metalloid character. Silicon is a non-metal, 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 non-metal. These are non-metal. So when we are moving left to right in the third period, we are going from metallic to non-metallic character. Sodium and magnesium and aluminium, they have the tendency to lose electrons, and then the other elements, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, and your these three elements, they have the tendency to gain electron, but argon, you know, noble gas, it has no tendency to gain or lose electron. Metal, it means the metal they occupy the left hand side of the periodic table, and then the non-metal they are present on the right hand side of the periodic table along with some metal. When we move come at bottom, the metallic character increases. It is due to increase in size of these elements. इनका size बढ़ जाता है तो इनकी tendency to release electron बढ़ जाती है. So these elements, the lower two periods, they are having some metallic character, they are having metalloid character. These are totally non-metals. So metalloids, you have antimony, arsenic, germanium, tin, lead, and having metallic character. Bismuth, helium, and polonium, they have the metallic character. So now study the tendency of the element to lose electrons. So if we study that, we will be finding the element which are present on the left hand side of the periodic table, they have the tendency to lose electrons. Their sizes are larger, they have more tendency to lose electron. When we move left to right in the periodic table, the size decreases and electrons are strongly held by the nucleus. Therefore, the tendency on this part of the element that decreases to lose electron due to a higher effective nuclear force, they have the tendency to accept electron. This power of the element is measured in terms of electron gain enthalpy, or you can say electron affinity. It is the amount of energy released by an atom when it accepts extra electrons. So higher the amount of energy released, it means higher would be the tendency of these elements to acquire that electron. So these elements, halogen, they have the deficiency of only one electron to acquire noble gas configuration. Therefore, they have the more electron affinity. Then comes the 16th group, they have the deficiency of 2 electrons, they come second, and nitrogen family comes third in this category of electron gain enthalpy. And if we come on this part of the periodic table, on the left hand side we see the element, they have more tendency to lose electron, and this tendency of the element is measured in terms of ionization enthalpy. What is ionization enthalpy? It is the amount of energy required by an atom to lose electron. Higher the amount of energy required, lesser will be more will be the hold of the nucleus on the valence electron. So their tendency to lose electron is measured in terms of ionization enthalpy or ionization potential or ionization energy, and their tendency to accept electron, that is measured in terms of electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. So we have on the right hand side of the periodic table, we have the element which have the capability to accept electron, and it is measured in terms of electron gain enthalpy. And on the left hand side of the periodic table, or these elements, we have the elements which have net tendency to lose electron. Their tendency to lose electron is measured in terms of ionization enthalpy. So this is regarding the discussion of your periodic classification of the elements, and in next lecture we'll be taking the textbook questions from this periodic table. Thank you very much.